Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your quantum reading with me, Jocelyn, the Quantum Queen. So, let's see what comes out for you guys this week. This is, of course, for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and as always, welcome to my cross-watchers. Cross-watcher, you could be dealing with a Gemini, and the message could actually be for you, so feel free to take it however it resonates with you and your situation. Keep in mind that these are timeless readings, so whenever you come across the message is when you are meant to hear it. If you guys would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can find my information down below in the description box. And just wanted to say thank you for liking, subscribing, and thank you for all the good karma donations. I appreciate it so much. Gem. Okay, interesting. I am going to go ahead and take that dragonfly right there. Okay. Bear with me. I'm just going to grab a couple more cards. Let's see what else can kind of complement that one. But ultimately, I think, Gem, what's happening is you're coming across some type of truth. Like, I don't know, maybe you did recently or you are about to. Like I said, it's going to resonate differently for all of you, but let me see if it's about like a specific person or like a truth in a direction you should go in. Yeah, okay, I am going to take that one. There's that truth right now. And I'm going to take the rhino. Perfect. Gemini. I think for a long time, you have kind of like been kind of the type of person where you stay positive. The dragonfly is all about like transformations. And I think, Gem, you're the type of person that you're constantly transforming. I mean, that's your element right there anyway. And it is a mastery number at the top there, the 22. So I think that you guys are on some type of path because you've got the combination between the 2 and the 4. So that could be significant for one of you. Maybe you have a life path of 22 or maybe a life path of 4, if that resonates with you. But maybe, I think more than anything, you're on the path of transformation because ultimately your goal is that you're creating stability in your life. I mean, ultimately, what human isn't? I mean, let's be honest, okay? But your path has been very unique and different, okay? Sorry, I needed water. So, as you guys saw on the bottom, truth transcends illusion. What I'm getting from this, Gemini, is that you guys might have been through some type of transformation, even recently, maybe throughout your whole entire lifetime. And you've always been like the good person, you know, like you've always like tried to stay optimistic about things and think the best of people and kind of put on a smile, like even when people are kind of making jabs at you. You're the type of person where you're like determined to maybe even be bigger than, like, better than your own shadow. Do you know what I mean? Like you're kind of like, what's interesting is I feel like you're almost suppressing a bit of your shadow with positivity. That's why I think that card is coming out, that you're coming out of some type of illusion. And this is why, because Gem, I think that you've actually been in relationship with someone in your life. This could be family, friends, work, however it applies. But you've got someone here that's a little bit more cunning, you know, a little bit more like ahead of the game, a little think on your feet. It's someone who's very, very quick to think as they maneuver throughout situations. Like they're always looking ahead and maybe also looking at what they can gain from certain people. That's a little bit more of the intention that I'm getting from this person. And Gem, like you've just kind of been focused on your own process and staying positive. You're really good at, you've just got this really tough spirit about you, very warrior-ish. You know, you're really good at overcoming any type of obstacle. And I do want to say that this person in your life is a bit of an obstacle. I don't think that you've quite realized it though. That's what I think is fascinating. I think that you've just kind of gone along and you're almost so used to this, either this specific person or this type of person. It can be either or, because you can continue to attract the same type of energy and vibrations in different people. So I think that's what's interesting, is you're starting to finally see, like, say for example, this is like a parent. You're starting to, the illusion is starting to fall away that maybe for a long time there was a part of you that didn't even think that it was possible that this person had like intentionally bad, like, and I use this word twice, but they had negative intentions, like maybe using you or out for their own gain. It was like whatever they could get. And they were very intelligent. But the really fascinating thing, I mean, Gem, you are highly intelligent. That is who you are. That's your sign. Like, you accumulate knowledge. You're very good at retaining things and just soaking up knowledge and information like a sponge. I love talking to Geminis because they're always just so full of information. Like, the conversations are always really like enlightening and fascinating when I talk to them. So I think in a weird way, this is almost a compliment to you, because you have this same amount of intelligence with you. But it's just because of like outside circumstances that made you think the best of this person, when really underneath the surface, they really didn't have the best of intentions for you. They weren't out for your greater good. They weren't out for positive things to happen for you. In fact, they might be competitive or jealous, or, there's something a little bit more shady about their intentions. But you're overcoming this. And because of it, the transformation that you're going through, it's going to give you impenetrably thick skin. I mean, the rhino, nothing is going to be able to get in your way. And I feel like also what's coming in with that, it's a lot of like the universe is completely backing you up in this, showing you some type of truth, showing you the actuality of the relationships or the situation that you've been involved in. Which is interesting, because I think, Gem, there might be, and I'm going to pull more cards for sure, but I think, do you know what keeps popping out to me? Sorry, I'm being squirrelish. But see how there's like a crown? I think that's interesting above the dragonfly. It's like on a spiritual level, you're royalty. And don't get too caught up on that. I'm not meaning it in like an arrogant or you're better than other people way, but there's something about your spirit or something that has truly always meant to overcome every single obstacle, because you have a very deep purpose to accomplish here in this lifetime. So that's why I feel like the universe has always kind of kept tabs on you and made sure that you got through all your obstacles, especially this person or these people. They were always there to like back you up and make sure that you kind of survived whatever you were going through, because you have this kind of entanglement that's going on where your transformation is going to inspire and help other people transform. That's a part of your purpose. Like, you have this thing where all the lessons you've learned, like you've had that warrior spirit, Gem, that has had that perseverance to push through things, to overcome every single thing in your life. And that's why, because you're gonna be kind of like the way paver to showing other people maybe even an easier way to get things accomplished. Do you know what I mean? You are also exposing truth to illusions for people in society, like however this applies, like maybe even on a bigger level, you guys are like activists or, something along those lines, but there's something about your perception during your transformation that's going to give a completely unique different take on what transformations look like, on how to maneuver through it quite a bit easier than what you had to go through. Which maybe isn't always fair, but you are going to be very rewarded from that. In fact, that's the other thing I'm being drawn to with the rhino spirit. You see all the flowers like all around. It's like you're gonna hit your target. That's the other thing I'm being drawn to. These images are so cool. They're so specific. This is you going after your target, right? No obstacles getting in your way. And I think this is almost like this is the other thing I'm drawn to. There's almost like these wings that have been there. So that could be almost like angels or the universe, if you guys believe in that. But it's also that there's a lot of like abundance at the end of this road, and so we're going to get more specific. Let's see what else comes out about this, because I'm very curious. Okay. All right. God, I love these cards. I love shuffling them. It's such a delicious shuffle. Okay. Well, that keeps wanting to pop out. There is someone that you're starting to block, because as you're starting to see this truth, you are starting to block this person or these people's energies from your life, because the veil is starting to fall away. And as you see it, right, you're starting to pull back. Like, here's the Page of Pentacles upside down. I think you might even be starting to pull back. This can be in a material way. Like, you might be pulling back your resources, or you might also be pulling back just your time, your communication, and your time that you spend with them. You're starting to see that even maybe like for a time, Gem, things were really rough for you. Like, you didn't have a lot of resources and things. And maybe people were coming in to help you. If you guys have heard of that manipulation tactic, it's where people help you with the expectation of being able to hold it over your head. That is the manipulation I feel like they're going to be using. There's a lot of like cunning and just intentions behind maybe even some of the positive things that they do for you or they provide for you, because I think maybe even they had some type of gain in mind. So let's see what comes out here. Yeah, interesting. Man, you've got a lot of like heavy energy here. You guys have been through the battle, like straight up there. And I love that just dinged right then. You have a lot of the times, and maybe you're currently at that, where you're just wanting to give up. You've been through everything and you just feel like maybe in your life, this either could be right now or just recently in the past, but you've always felt like there's just this dark cloud over your head that's blocking any type of abundance from coming into your experience. And so what I think is happening, this is really interesting. It's because of this person, honestly, being in your life. And you guys will start to see, because this is the Knight of Swords. It's a very fast moving energy, but it's also the sword. So it's about putting boundaries up. I think once you start to see some type of truth around the people being exposed, it's going to be very easy and swift that you put that sword up. I don't think you're going to hesitate or waste any time, right? Because you might start to see that even every time you communicate with them, it pulls you down in an energetic way. I think it almost pulls you into this Nine of Wands, where you feel really overburdened, or it starts to just like influence you in a negative way. But look how you've got 2 pages. Okay, so now we've got the Page of Wands. I want to say that's, I think, that person's energy, the Page of Wands. I think that they're going to come in with some type of fiery, like counter communication. Does that make sense? So when you start to put the boundaries up and you start to cut them out, maybe in communication, or you're just starting to say very clearly no, and you're pulling back in some way, shape, or form in a energetic or a material way, this person, I think you're gonna start to see very quickly their shadow side, like their reaction to it, because they might come at you in a bit of a fiery way and communicate that quickly, right? This is all the entanglement, because they're going to start to feel, actually, and here's the fascinating entanglement too. 9 of Wands, isn't it fascinating? You've got a fox, right? The fox spirit. That is a fox right there. I actually didn't notice that before. So I do want to say also, Gem, that is that person's energy. As you start to cut them off and hold back on your resources, or however you usually show up for them, you're starting to pull back. And they're starting to feel depleted, which might make them start to panic. So they might start saying things swiftly. Like, I almost get the feeling that they're scrambling, because where they're usually able, usually things are set up in line for them. Everything is in place. They've got their whole community and things set up in their life that's like by the book. They're so quick to think on their feet. They have everything aligned perfectly, because probably a lot of the ways that they have manipulated their environment is through shame, guilt, and fear. Fear especially. So that's how they've been able to keep everyone and everything in their environment in a perfect placement. It's very strategic, the way they have everything calculated and set up. And it's almost like this is what I literally just heard. You're the disturbance in the force. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one that's kind of like the loose cannon, you're a little bit more unpredictable. Maybe for a while you were predictable, maybe because of like outside circumstances or things like that. There's something about you that has always kind of been the thing they can't completely calculate, I think they can to an extent. Like, they're very intelligent. I'm not taking away from that at all. But in a way, like, I think you pulling back, they're not really expecting it. And it might throw them into a bit of a panic, because they're losing that source of energy. Whether that's in a positive or a negative way, like, there's some way, shape, or form that they rely on you as an energy source. Whether that's negative reactions, like they can cause you to react in a negative way, or to give them like positive feedback, like compliments and things. It might even be both, but in some way, shape, or form, they do rely on you to provide their energy source. So you're starting to pull back on that, Gem, which is really good, I think. At least from what I'm getting, I think that's a very positive thing, more importantly for you, okay? So, Gem, I'm going to go ahead and dive much further into this in the extended. If you guys want to join me over there, feel free. Go down below, click on the Vimeo link, and I'll see you on the other side. But, Gem, if this is where we leave things, I'm sending you guys so much love, wishing you all the very best, and I'll see you in your next reading. Take care.